Hello, everyone. This is Alex, Ukrainian civilian. Today, I record another video for you, my subscribers, and everyone who watches my channel. It's Sunday, March 27th, and I'm recording another video that is slightly different from what you are used to watch on my channel. First of all, thanks to one of my subscribers, I decided to make it more personal, more dynamic. Plus, I want to give you my personal presence, as you can see in the right bottom corner of your screen. My today's video is going to consist of two parts as always. The first one is the current map of war activities in Ukraine, my personal view of the situation in Ukraine, and the second one would be about mental health. My personal experience is definitely very soft because I didn't face any direct bombings. I didn't face any artillery attacks might destroy your city or city of Ukrainians. So I will try to give you an example of a civilian that doesn't face active war activities. However, the stages of these changes in mental health are quite similar to everyone. So let's move on and let's start with the map. The map you currently see is slightly different from, again, you are used to see in my videos. However, I decided to add some legend for you so you can understand what cities and what directions I'm talking about. And let's discuss the current situation. So this is the map for March 26th. It's not very different from today's one because the war changes. This current Russian-Ukrainian war transforms into long-term slow phase. And as you already probably knew from Russian propaganda, they achieved phase one, and right now they are going to try to defend existing achievements and defend already occupied territories. However, the situation is completely different from the local Donbas region. Our army isn't going to wait until they will, I don't know, annex it or establish some puppet states. And right now, there are a couple of theaters with active war activities. So basically, let's start from one: north and west of Kiev region. Basically, I'm located here, so I know and I hear what's happening. Right now, our army does everything to establish and create quadrants for Russian army, because it seems that Russian commandment decided to focus on south and east directions. So right now, let's see what happens in a couple of weeks, because right now the situation is very volatile, and I'm not sure what's happening. However, there is no any success in this theater for Russian army, and we tried to gain back territories with minimal losses. The second direction is Chernigiv region. It also spreads on Sumy, and there are very interesting situation for Russian troops. Almost all of them are gathered on the east of Kiev, so you can see a very small logistics path for these troops. So basically, I'm sure that our army is planning to make another quadron in the future. Kharkiv, or the third circle, is currently more quiet than it was previously. Ukrainian small groups actively eliminate Russians around the city, and basically it helps civilians from Kharkiv to live a little bit more in a little bit more quiet way. The fourth direction is the most difficult one, because it consists of Mariupol that is still completely encircled, and it means that we have no connection and we cannot supply Azov and Marine troops there. Also, Russians continue to attack our Donetsk group, from the south and from the north through Kharkiv and Mariupol directions. I have no idea what's happening there. I definitely know it's very difficult. It's full of blood, sweat, and exhausted soldiers. However, we still have connections with it through the center of Ukraine, and let's see how it happens. The fifth direction that our army is planning to work on is Mykolaiv and Kherson regions. First of all, I'm happy to tell that almost all Mykolaiv region is free from Russians because they start to move back to already occupied territories. They started to actively work with local people in order to make them, in order to listen to local occupation administration, and they will try to establish puppet state there. So let's see how it happens. Right now, I have no big changes in the situation because the war will slow down right now. In any case, I don't think there would be any progress for Russian troops except Mariupol. Let's start talking about changes in mental health I personally faced. First of all, I'd like to clearly state that it's my personal experience. Many people face it or reacted in own way. And secondly, I still live in a peaceful region. It's quite loud, but it's safe here. So I cannot tell about other people, other Ukrainians. I tell about myself. However, from the psychology point, these stages of mental reaction are similar to everyone. So let's start from phase one or shock. I faced it on February 24th when the full cycle war started. And I really want to tell that I wasn't surprised. I was watching for all preparations and all this initial diplomatic moves of Russia, understanding there would be some shit. Well, of course, I was expecting of a local conflict, maybe some particular escalation on in the Donbass region, but I wasn't expecting to face a full-scale war here in Ukraine. So my first reaction was a huge shock. The part of this shock were the following criteria or attributes. So basically, I had irrational behavior. My response was very slow to any events. I did a lot of chaotic actions and deeds, and of course, I was confused. So my morning started at 5 a.m. I got up to visit bathroom, and then I saw some explosion sounds very distant, but however I heard them. So I was checking news, telegram channels, everything to understand what's happening. And in an hour I woke up my wife. So we started to prepare. We already had this kind of emergency bags with everything, and the first reaction was to go to get some cash to purchase cigarettes, despite the fact I wasn't smoking for more than a year, and purchase some bread. So we didn't do any strategic reserves. We didn't purchase, I know, canned food. We didn't do everything. So our neighbors saw an aerial fight between Russian and Ukrainian jets. We saw that a helicopter was shot down near us, and everything was very chaotic. So the reaction was, "What the hell is happening?" And actually, it was the most seamless part of my mental trip during this war. So let's move on to the second stage. The second thing I faced during this war was the adrenaline rush. Actually, it was awful. if you analyze it after it finishes, because basically you're full of information hunger. You always scroll down all Telegram channels or Facebook. You have a huge emotional upsurge, so you basically have a lot of optimism. Everything is okay. You don't need to eat. You don't want to eat. And my organism was very good in regeneration after the surgery. So also I had high activity phase basically, because during these 5 days I helped my wife to make the, let's say, our simpler shelter in our basement. I helped to mix these Molotov cocktails that you can see right now. So everything, I was full of energy. I was over optimistic, and of course, my organism decided that I need to finish it with the relaxed time. But unfortunately, it was not just the relaxation; it was the apathy stage. This phase was the most difficult for me, because for a couple of days, maybe three, maybe four, I was really exhausted because of enormous amount of energy I spent during the second phase of adrenaline rush, and I faced the next attributes: emotional exhaustion, physical exhaustion, excessive pessimism, and of course, I had an extreme need in mental support. Thanks God, I my wife is near me, so we helped each other to go through this phase, because it was very difficult to see dead Ukrainian soldiers, dead Ukrainian civilians. You was I was stressed by everything. So basically, I didn't have any belief in the win of our country, and it was the most difficult part. However, it's gone. So right now, I reached the emotional plateau. Right now, I'm here in the emotional plateau, and I'm not sure it's kind of a normal state or not. However, I'm quite stable, because in this phase I faced the next attributes of war shock. It's my mental health is stabilized, my physical health and rhythms are stabilized. I already can to think, consider, and analyze things objectively, and I'm full of cold wrath and caution. So basically, when I see anything emotional, of course, it gives me some, I don't know, some burns. I may become angry, or I may become sad, anything else. But in reality, I am very calm, because right now I have the only target. This is the win of Ukraine in this particular war. I understand that I have things to be done. I mean, my volunteering, helping elders, maybe talking to people in our home in order to stabilize their mental health. So I have things to be done in order to help my country, my army, our territorial defense, everyone to win this war. It won't finish soon, it won't finish easily. There would be a lot of blood, sweat, tears, but I and a lot of my friends, neighbors, they feel pretty the same. So we are very focused on war, on victory in this war. But we are not some kind of megalomaniacs. Yes, we are just people that want to see the peaceful sky above us. This is what I wanted to tell you about my experience. Maybe some other people will tell you more. I hope it was useful, and I hope you, again, you understand more about Ukrainians and this war. I thank you for watching my channel, for following me. Feel free to donate to Ukrainian army if you didn't do this. And I'd be glad to answer any of your questions, and of course provide you with more content about the modern state of Ukraine. Thank you so much and have a nice day. Bye.